voltage calculator. What's this? Audio check. Sync software and game dev. All right. Hey, I just set up Restream so I can stream to YouTube. YouTube will save it so I can make it a short. This problem really drove me crazy. I'm on xpresystem.org using Crystal programming language. I've gone through like 7-8% of their thing. There's like 106 exercises. It's real, basic stuff like, oh, here are conditionals. The problem, it's just really interesting. Oh, about conditionals. We don't need to go through that now. Back. I want to go back to the problem. Publish running exercise. Open an editor. Here's my solution. I'm going to go back. I just want to run over this really quick. And then I'm going to move on with the next problem. Open an editor. Okay. This is not the one. This is a cool one though. Oh yes, this is the correct one. I just have to find the right function. Okay, it's this case. So this can be solved. It's not like an extremely difficult. It's easy level stuff. They give you some values. It's like a nuclear power plant. Give you some values. Um, you know, they give you these formulas. Hey, generated power is voltage by current. Calculate the efficiency. So I named it EFF. And they give you, hey, this. Here, I'll go to instructions. Gives you some stuff, and then the problem statement. Instructions. So you have a power plant. You check for criticality. If temperature is less than this, do this, and this condition's true, then do this. Determine power output range. So some of that is like, well, straightforward. Define some temporary variables. This drove me crazy. None of this was a problem. Voltage, current, theoretical max power. Hey, here's the efficiency. I did have these as like, so this is the crystal language. These were if else, if else if, else if, else if. And then I'm like, I looked at select and then case. So in crystal, you can say, case, when efficiency is this, then green, then orange. I don't have to return these values. The last expression, like kind of, Ruby based, the last expression is what's returned. So this went from like a long if else, or else if this. This is why I want to make this one again, and then I'm going to move on. This calculation here, I'm going to go to the, was it task 3? Power range, no. Task 3, fail safe. So maybe it's just me and wording problems. And it just goes to show you that programming is not always about language and syntax, and it's about just like really taking the problem simply. Temperature times the neutrons, this, okay, we can do that. We got that. It's right here, temp by neutrons, I named it, okay? It's less than 90% of threshold output. low. Okay. So I'm like, okay, percent 90 is 0.9 times threshold. Great. Temperature times neutrons produced per second. I'm making this because it pissed me off. I pissed myself off. Okay, and here's what threw me off. It's these little lines right here. This is where you slow down and break a problem down into small pieces. If temperature times neutrons produced per second are within plus or minus 10% of the threshold, okay? It sounds simple now, and it is simple. The reactor is in criticality, and you output normal. So you've got this little section here. So what messed me up, and it took me like 20 minutes to get this conditional on line 28 here. It took me like 20 minutes to get this conditional right because it's like got these backwards. I wasn't adding percent 10 to threshold to say, oh, minus or plus 10% of the threshold. Well, if I would have just stopped and thought plus 10% of the threshold means add 10% of the threshold to threshold. Okay, so percent 10 of threshold, 10% of threshold, as you see up here, add that to itself. So temp by neutrons, if it's less than threshold plus 10%, and temp by neutrons is greater than threshold minus 10%, hence plus or minus 10%. It's like, duh. I'd like, but that's why I love it. It's like once you, like, once you realize the simplicity of a solution, you just kind of want to kick yourself. You just lost 20 minutes, but small, little lessons there. So I was like thinking, because I'm learning Crystal to an advanced level. That's my goal. That's why I'm going through all these exercises. And I've hit every little, let's go, oh, what is this syntax? How do I do this in the language? I mean, those are the basic things you go through to learn a language. And again, this is exercism.org. A lot of great exercises, tons of different languages. I'm thinking that I want to define self. Let me scroll down. This is on my screen. I'll zoom a little bit too, and I'm gonna make this smaller. I'm gonna define, you do it, self dot, and then method name within check, right? And it's gonna take a value. I don't even know. I think that's both integer plus no, they're not. They're floats, but you can just say value 1, value 2. What I'm doing is refactoring to simplify this whole little clause above. Define self dot within check value 1, value 2. Add an end here. If I need to tab over 1, we're going to say, when you don't have to use like return, you're just going to say you want to check if a value, so temp neutrons, is less than, say, value 1, and so you want the test item within check. we're going to call it, we're just going to say value min max, low high. There's a lot of built-in functions in languages, within range, things like that. Crystal probably has like a within, I'm going to say, I'm going to do that. There's a, within question mark, add a question mark into your, because this is within a class. The class is reactor, nuclear reactor. So self.within, and you can specify like, returns pool, and you're just going to say val is less than, and see, it's not going to be less than, it's going to say, threshold plus 10%. See what you do. Now I'm thinking more. You need threshold minus 10. You need, this is the low. You need threshold plus 10%. That's the high. Okay. So value is greater than value 1, but then low. It's greater than low. It's so simple. And less than high. Within, I think it's inclusive in this, like, this little exercise. So I'm returning val is greater than low and less than high. And so when self dot within, right? Pass in temp by neutrons, pass in threshold plus 10%. This was going to switch my logic here. We're going to pass in threshold minus 10%. I'm going to pass in I'm just shortening all this up. It's like once you work through a problem enough, then normal. So, and I'm going to make this case, temp by neutrons equals this. So low is threshold low. So normal threshold, min threshold, threshold equals that. I'm going to say low threshold, min max is just, it gets funny, but if you get them all over, it's just numbers. And for me, low threshold, high threshold equals threshold plus %10. This could be, I could remove %10 and go into like 0.1 times threshold right here, 0 on both of these. I like having %10. Threshold, low threshold equals this, high threshold equals this. Boom. My eyes are, it's late, so I'm just double checking. We're gonna go low thresh. Tired of typing threshold everywhere. low thresh, high thresh, and here, high thresh, get rid of the -10, then normal. That turns into one self dot within, temp by neutrons. I'm also gonna, the temp by neutrons was, it's temperature times neutrons. I'm gonna call this, it's the temperature times the neutrons produced per second. I just want to almost call it, it's like, in the wording of the problem, it's the criticality, whether it's balanced in criticality. So temp by neutron, I'm going to say balance. Balance is that. Balance state could use. And then here, let's say, my balance state. I'm about to break this thing in by changing variable names. When balance is that. When balance is within, yeah, yep. When balance is then normal, else danger. I feel like I could get rid of something else. Oh, this is the failsafe, and I need to tab this over. Why is that putting in a character? Temperature threshold. That's really weird. Oh, this is my cursor sitting there. Percent, balance, low, this. Yeah, when it's low, percent 90. I'm gonna get rid of these. When balance is less than 0.9 times threshold, 5% 90. Low thresh, minus percent 10. I don't really see any value in just like, yeah, 10% of threshold. I don't even want that anymore. So case, when balance is that, then low, then normal, danger, and I'm going to see if my self.within function works by running these tests, and I'm moving on. I just want to go on about the I'm missing an end case when that, then low, then normal, else danger, and expecting not then. Oh, right. I gotta close the parens for self.within. I'm zooming back out a little bit so it looks right. This over. It's like, I'm starting to really like Crystal. Programming language. Unexpected token here and less than high. It's because val is greater than low, and val is less than high. There we go. Come on. Did you mean high thresh? Yes, I did. Thresh, high thresh, run test. before I move on, I just signed up to Restream because I've streamed a bunch on YouTube or on Twitch. Lost a bunch of live streams because they say for like 7 days, and I wasn't set up to send to both. Um, to also to YouTube at the same time, and I want to see how it's going. It's working out. It's kind of working out. It's a free account. So I'm gonna mute and pause, take a minute. I'm probably gonna stop this stream, restart another one just so the YouTube one's short. I can put it into a short. I'm waiting for it to load. Oh gosh, I'm not even signed in on the other machine. I haven't signed in on this operating system. I'm always switching out different distros, and I'm just trying out Pop OS, Linux distro. So of course I don't have any saved passwords on here or anything. Click here. View my channel. Check audio output. Oh, and look, it doesn't. Oh, it does show me as live. Okay. Check. Let me go over to Twitch and mute this one. Oh, it is muted? Okay. Well, now that I'm going to be actually adding to YouTube, say real quick, Haxer490 on Twitch and YouTube. On Twitter, I'm going to be live streaming web dev videos, software engineering videos. I'm going to spend every day for this summer programming in multiple languages, but I'm going to focus on truly like getting to an advanced level of the crystal programming language and building projects, some real world projects, making some open source contributions. Um, so check it out, crystal people out trying to build an audience and learn and teach at the same time. So I'm going to stop this stream and start another one so I can cut the YouTube one more easy because I suck at video editing so far. All right, bye.